Yes, what's good, people? It's your boy Jedi for Jedionline. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all of that. And today I got a special guest with me. Could you introduce yourself, please, Unks?
Uncle Niles here.
Yeah, see? There's Uncle Niles, community activist, musician, talented dude. Yeah, so today we're watching the Mirror Project, COVID Laws Petition, episode 9. So someone sent it to me this morning, so let's have a look.
If there is one document you should read this year, it's this one. Changes to human medicine regulations to support the rollout of COVID vaccines. This was published on the 28th of August, 2020. What was a conspiracy theory only a few months ago is now here in an official government publication, and it's time to take precise action and stop this proposal. I'll tell you exactly how to do this at the end of this video.
I can announce today that the government has set up a vaccines task force to coordinate the efforts of government, academia, and industry towards a single goal.
So first off, what's your view on what does COVID mean to you? What's your view?
What does it mean? So it's more about how they're resetting society.
Yeah.
That's more about how, the great reset in that sense. And, this new normal they're talking about is a reset of society where this is the vehicle for that. That's how
Okay.
I see it.
Yeah.
And I think there's many aspects to it, many layers to it, which is why it's such a controversial debate. You get what I'm saying? Because it's also linked to a lot of stuff that's been going on for decades. It didn't just start when this started. It started long before that. With the World Health Organization, the CDC, all of this has been going on.
It's been going on for a while. So
where
what is it? Where are we heading then?
are we heading?
Or where they want us to head? Where they trying to take this?
I think it's being done in a way where what we accept now will become the new normal.
Curfews, restrictions, lockdown, quarantine, all these words are like, I feel like 2 years ago those words were like for the conspiracy theorists and the nuts and whatever, but now they're just rolling off our tongue so easy. Man are making songs about when we come after quarantine, things is gonna nice and
it just slips in.
It's
there,
just normal,
and
innit?
then it becomes set, and before you know it, that is the new normal, and this is how it's being done in that sense. In terms of it's slowly creeping in and becoming normalized. These things that we're doing, or these things, or the restrictions that's being put in place, and because they keep moving around as well,
they're making people confused as well, but just used to the fact that things has changed.
Exactly.
So now I saw you at a restaurant. I said to my friend that works on the market, like, how's this 6 people thing gonna affect you? And he was like, what 6 people? What's going on? So it's like we're updating him, and then he's just like,
the goalposts move so much.
Constantly moving.
It's a shifting sands all the time. So as soon as you try and set something a certain way, it's going to switch another way.
Right.
Because this is the whole thing that's going on, deliberately being done. Otherwise, why would so much confusing information
be put out there?
in
It's
the
definitely
first place?
deliberate. The misinformation. Oh boy, let's see.
Accelerate the development of a coronavirus vaccine.
The UK government is seeking to make changes to the human medicine regulations. These changes will support the rollout of a COVID-19 vaccine programme in the UK. I will only state facts out of the document, so this video doesn't get fast-checked and censored. People need to see this so they know what is coming. There are 5 points in this document. I urge you to read it for yourselves and think of the subtext as well.
What was that one there? Request for temporary authorization.
Request for temporary authorization of the supply of unlicensed products. This means unlicensed vaccines will be allowed as long as the manufacturer can demonstrate safety and efficiency. Civil liability
Mad.
Because that's down to who's the authorities to decide whether it's safe or not.
Yeah, what's your methods of what body saying, okay, this you've demonstrated safe what application of your vaccine, what, to 1 patient, 1,000 patients, white patients, Asian patients, black men, dogs, like what, do you know what I mean?
Unlicensed, they said unlicensed, that means
So
it
now-
doesn't have a license, but they have some proof that it's safe.
That it's
What
cool.
is that if it's unlicensed?
That's that just fast tracking whatever garbage
Yeah, and
they want to roll through.
and even if it's licensed, who's giving that license? You know,
Who's
it's
it?
like
Yeah,
it's like who? The World Health Organization.
yeah.
Like, if we look at the history of the World Health Organization, it has not been beneficial to us as people.
Right.
Do you get what I'm saying? So, even taking advice based upon that is questionable. You have to question everything in this situation,
Yeah.
because, you know, those people that have been in charge of those things have not necessarily been acted in a responsible way to deal with that. In fact, they've made the situation worse. Like, if you're developing vaccines that's supposed to stop the spread of disease, why is there more disease?
They tell you that the thing is mutating, it's adapting, it's this, it's that. It's a whole new strain that's come out of nowhere. Bam!
Yeah, but there's a science to that. You've got like DNA and RNA,
Yeah.
right? DNA is a double strand.
Right.
The RNA is a single strand.
Right.
Right? So the RNA strand mutates to survive. So in that sense, if it's a RNA and it's been genetically modified or reversed engineered, yeah, what they call recombinant, which means that they've mixed different things together and create
To
something
create
else.
something new, yeah.
Yeah, and that's also, you have live and dead viruses,
Okay.
right? If you
So the
take-
flu is a live virus.
yeah,
The flu jab.
well, the flu jab, the irony with that is that in order for you to get a jab for something, they inject you with
With the
that
thing. Yeah. But I
So-
say when they inject you with the thing, are they injected a live virus?
Well, they have different techniques. This
Yeah.
is the thing. They have different ways of doing it, yeah, and different strains and different ways that they do it. So we don't necessarily know what they're putting in stuff. It's like we're only just starting to work out what was in the vaccines in the first place, right? And stuff that they've been putting in vaccines from time that shouldn't even be in there.
With their coded names and like, do you know what I mean? They're legally coded names, so they will call it something slightly different, even if it's something that's been illegal or banned before. They just you get me? Take out a one molecule, but in essence, it's the same compound.
Yeah, well, the AIDS virus was a mixture of bovine leukemia
Yeah.
and sheep viscera virus. Do you get what I'm saying? So how does that come about? You know what I mean? You know,
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff going on in laboratories that we don't know about.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Same with this whole COVID thing. Like, to be fair, regardless of whether it's real or not, they've been playing around with the coronavirus
For a long time.
for a long time.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
And it would show up in the test anyway because they've already vaccinated people with other versions of that.
Right. Plus, if you got the
Previously.
cold anyway, you're gonna come up with coronavirus.
Yeah, and I think it's important to check like what was going on with these with the flu and pneumonia for the last, say, 5 years or 10 years, because there's been other years that if people had known what the figures were, they would have been equally panicking, right?
Right. So
But
I
we
know
did-
last year they said 24 or 26,000 people died of influenza. So a lot of people have been asking, well, what's the numbers for this year then? Are people still dying of flu, or is it just COVID now?
Well, because of the symptoms and people being diagnosed with that who didn't necessarily directly die of that, but complications related to that, now that's going to increase the figures anyway.
I found out that only 6% of all people recorded dying of COVID was the one and only contributing factor to their death. Only 6%.
Right.
This is all this is out of everyone, you know. This is, you get me? So everyone have something else is gone in. Something else is gone in, you know, old age, whatever, vulnerability, you know.
This is the reality.
But that's scary though, because if you like, if you move in a circle of 7 people, they're coming to tell you that one of you like must leave. But yesterday you could be with 29 other people.
Yeah,
Like for instance, Sunday, 30 of us can gather.
Yeah.
Monday, only 6 of us can gather.
That's right.
Off the word of someone.
Well, because we've had a figure put there that this has increased to this level, so now we must do this, right? But you can still all send your children to school.
Yeah, and you can go to work in an office full of 50 people. It's all good.
And pubs are still open. But what is going on?
So,
like,
they just want you to just give up resisting, just like whatever. If they say jump, you say how high. That's it.
basically.
I feel like it's a technique to keep you, like, to just break you down. Because you want to fight on this point, and that point's moved, and you want to fight on that point, to the point where people just like, well, if you read the comments, yeah, like, if you watch a video of somebody that's, for instance, been apprehended by police for not wearing a mask, read the comments, innit? Like, obviously, comments can be infiltrated. It's probably a weapon in themselves, but the way people comment is like, boy, I don't even believe in COVID, but just wear a mask, man. Ah, you hear it? Just wear a mask. How simple is it? Like, right. These man just putting us at risk, so it's like, everyone's just eating it up.
Yeah. We're stopping to think for ourselves, you know, like, and actually, whatever's being thrown at you, think for yourself, innit? Like, you know, try and have some balance and look at it. Like, I'm an asthmatic, right? So I'm not wearing a mask.
Yeah.
And I can get a badge to say I don't have to wear it. But, you know, beyond that, it's just like basic. If you're living some form of connection with the universe around you, and you're trying to, you know, live some kind of natural life, you know that it's not good to breathe in your own air all day
carbon
long,
dioxide,
and you know, not get sun and not do all of the stuff that we know protects us from these things.
Right.
So when people are telling us to not do those things that are beneficial to us, it's exact word, counterintuitive. And then that becomes a problem to us now, because, you know, we're overcoming a lot of the things in our environment because we're able to deal with those things, or because we're reconnecting with that knowledge and dealing with that. You know, so if it becomes
certain things,
so if it becomes a thing, well, you know what, those people do that thing now. There's something wrong with them because they do that thing and they don't follow the advice. Yeah, it's now like they're demonizing and criminalizing.
Of course, yeah.
You know,
and we're so quick to take up that job amongst each other, judging each other and pulling each other down, and he's not doing this, and he should be arrested, he should be. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
That mentality is always just beneath the surface in society.
And you see, like, when the thing first started, they had a lot of that in terms of people. They said they called it corona snitching, right? So they said there was like 200,000
calling on their neighbours, say things is going in.
This guy went out jogging twice today. He's putting us at risk, and you know what I mean?
This is crazy.
You know?
All right. Civil liberty and immunity.
Immunity. In simple terms, if the vaccine causes injury or death, the manufacturer cannot be sued. The government's argument is this, and I quote, "If manufacturers are asked to supply an unlicensed medicine in response to a public health threat, it is unfair to ask them to take responsibility for the consequence."
It says it all, doesn't it?
Man said unfair.
It's unfair.
It is unfair to ask them to take responsibility for the said thing that they provided.
So who takes responsibility?
The person that asked for it then. But they're trying to check all of that. They're trying to move away from that. Yeah. If a manufacturer or healthcare professionals are asked to supply, so then obviously if who you've asked to supply is not culpable, then the person asking for the supply is culpable.
It should be the government. So basically what it says is any decision to roll out mass vaccination programs for unlicensed COVID-19 vaccines, that will be taken nationally, yeah, not by the individual companies manufacturing or marketing the product. Right, so that's a government directive, right?
Mm-hmm.
So once the government says this has to be rolled out, the people who's making it have already got a get out clause.
Yeah.
This is what they've created.
When they were talking immunity, I thought they were talking about something else. They're talking about immunity from prosecution.
Immunity for the big pharma
Yeah.
and the corporations who's creating this stuff.
With their unlicensed somethings.
Exactly.
So because it's not licensed, you can't go back to the person that licensed them and say, well, you licensed this and it's fuckery. You feel? You see, you get what they done.
Yeah,
so they've covered themselves from both angles.
Exactly.
Consequences of the use of that medicine.
It's like how Bill Gates, you know, I saw an article about Bill Gates going to Nigeria and talking to a committee in Nigeria about if they could like speed up the process of when they come with a vaccine, so that they don't have to go through.
But Ghana ran them out.
Yeah.
Ghana told them to go.
Yeah.
Nigeria, I don't know. Well.
And then there's the thing with Madagascar and the holistic cure.
Right. Yeah. I heard about that.
You know, this is what the other side of it. Like if you have an alternative and you can actually determine what's going on in your country, then you may be able to find a natural African holistic cure that's existed for centuries. Yeah, we know how to deal with this.
We're good.
But you know what? This government ain't even telling people
that there's
the basic things that you could get from your corner store. Like, right, get some lemon, get some ginger, get some garlic.
Yeah, they're not screaming nothing like that.
Anything at all.
Nothing. There's no like real nutritional support. Nothing. Yeah.
Anybody could get those simple things. Anywhere. Like it's not like even a secret thing. Like go and get this and get that. And no, just even those simple things they're not telling people.
That's what I find though. Like I find like with this thing, like even walking through the Westfields, and the officer stopped me and my pal and said, "Oh, my God, where's your mask?" I said, "I ain't wearing no mask." She said, "Oh, you're." She said, "What was her words?" She said, "Oh, you're what's that word? Not you're exempt." So I said, "Yeah, of course I'm exempt because I'm not." She said, "No." She looked at me. She said, "No, you're exempt." I was like, "Yeah, I'm exempt." She's like, "Okay, then go about your business." So when I look behind her, I see one of her colleagues stopping some people and harassing them. So she just gave me the heads up, like, "Yo, boom." And I already knew that you can say you're exempt, but obviously she's just saying, just say the words. You're exempt and you're good. So I'm like, "Yeah, I'm exempt." So as I'm walking and I'm looking at everyone, I'm like, imagine like they all could be free with just one word. Just tell them you're exempt. That's it. So it's like people don't even care. They don't even wanna resist. they don't wanna resist. They don't wanna fight no more. If they said wear some masks, I know nothing. Just some mask in it. That's the mentality. What's the problem, man? Just wear a mask in it. Right.
The thing is, like, the science behind the wearing of the mask does not even make sense.
It's so faulty.
Right, so this is the reality of it. This is why they can't really enforce it even a way that, you know, if it was really a thing like that, then why isn't it being enforced properly? If it was really a thing that it could spread that far, but people's wearing designer masks, man, all different kind of
Gucci pattern. You can wear anything. They just say put anything on your face and you're good.
Yeah, but the reality is that's not scientifically true, is it?
It's not.
You know, there's certain type of mask you have to have to prevent certain things getting through, if that's what you're going to use. And it's not these things that people's putting.
None of them. Because we've seen a lot of, there's a lot of demonstrations there of the effectiveness of the mask. So people can judge for themselves. But that's one thing people should be doing. Like, think for yourself. Like, use your brain. It's yours, isn't it? It's not illegal to think for yourself just yet. It's coming. But right about now, just think for yourself. And, you know, as easy as it is for you to say, do you know what? Child, let me just throw on the mask. You can make another choice as well. You know what I mean, when I'm on the trains or out and about, this was there. head nod situation to the one fellow rebel. Like, you hear me?
Yeah.
Observing this madness, but it's like a needle in a haystack. That's what's so scary. I'm seeing a visual, a visual representation of where society's mind's at.
Definitely.
You feel me?
Yeah. It's like you just said, like, you know, we need to think for ourselves. I just written something about that called mind control. Tune called mind control. Exactly about that. Like, you know, don't stop using your intuition. Don't get switch that off because you know, what's going on around us is distracting us now from who we actually are. Because within all of this now, things have been changing in the universe, and things are changing around us. Yeah, and we're being distracted into the program that the system wants to reset.
Yeah.
At the same time, we can't forget what's actually happening in the universe that we're in around us, and being in tune with that, because that is something they can't control. There's nothing they can do about that change, about those things that are moving, about the shifts that's happening, about the energy that's moving through the planet. And, you know, that's what we're tuned into. From we're tuned into that, yeah, then that is our insurance and our protection in terms of what's coming ahead of us.
Yeah.
Because if you look at that and you just focus on that, what are you going to do about it? You can't do nothing about all of these things as an individual. Even as a collective, it's a challenge, right? But we know the laws of the universe exist, right?
Right.
Cause and effect, you know what I'm saying? All of these things are real things that nobody can change. Yeah, and we're all just part of that journey, yeah? So from we're in alignment
With the universal laws.
That's what it's about right now. So those that know that are more doing the self-development than going outward all the time, trying to change what's outside.
It's mad, you know, like,
You know?
that is so crazy, because I just see something today. It was a weird quote. See if it's here. No. But it was basically saying that actually it might be here. Okay, check this. This is from this morning. This is what I'm saying. So I'm always walking in that path. So every day it's just synchronicity. Every conversation confirms the next one from random people, random places. So it says, you're not going to wake anybody up anymore. We're basically at end game. There are things that are about to start happening everywhere that's going to freak the shit out of people. Back away from trying to wake them up. They're comfortably asleep. They're where they want to be. Unfortunate as it is, when the crap does hit the fan, they're going to look around and say, and it's blocked out. But obviously you could take that with a pinch of salt, but definitely man can't help but to try speak a vibration that is insightful, yeah, and aware at some capacity, yeah, that invites others of that ilk of thinking. But what that, in terms of the whole outreach of energy to, you know, like you said, go change the world, and that, yeah, I'm finding myself like from like about a year back, 2 years, no, that's not the way to go. That's like all that outward drains the inward, and then once you're drained inwardly, then you can't even shine the light that you were shining in the world how you was before. You don't know how people see you from a distance when you're filled up with your light. Do you know what I mean? Right. So when you give it out, it's like there's no lighthouse for some people left. So
yeah, you got to pace yourself. You got to, you know, balance everything out. And you know, we're passionate people. We're people who put a lot into things. So when we commit to something, we put our everything into that thing that we commit to. And you know, it's all learning processes, but ultimately you get to a point where you know, if I sata and I just medi and I draw the right energies, those things will knock on your door. You won't have to go out and do it, because you're in the right
place, in the right lane.
Exactly.
It's been a great day for me today. It's been that today. Yeah. Been a good day like that. So I continue to try and trot in that direction.
And that's the best thing, especially in a time like this, is to know that and to keep moving like that on a daily, and to be able to tune in with those signs around you, or see the synchronicity of those things around you that you know, all right, yeah, cool. Those signals keep coming, showing you that you're heading in the right direction, you're in the right place, you know, because that's all we can actually do. We can't do everything, you know. There's the collective thing that we also need to develop, which obviously that's what we've been trying to do collectively, but it all starts within.
What's that like group consciousness?
Yeah, you know, we haven't really got to that point because we haven't got to the consciousness of actually working together the way we should even work together, let alone like being able to put our minds to moving something. Yeah, but we're working on it. You know?
Yeah,
we are working on it.
Yeah, but I'm seeing lots of good signs.
You know, and I think we have to keep our focus on those good things right now because it's so easy to be taken over by all the negative. And they're doing this, they're doing that, they're doing the other, and it's disempowering. If that percentage is more, then you're thinking about what you're doing and what we're actually doing. You know what I mean? To raise our vibration above those negative aspects that's taking over society, like fear. You know, that fear has been created through the information that's been given out.
Yeah, we've been eating it.
Yeah.
Drinking it.
And that fear is a destructive force that also breaks down your immune system.
Right. This is something that a lot of people have been screaming from before COVID. Yeah. The main thing is to break down your immune system via fear. And then obviously they know the process is to kickstart that is it psychosomatic or psychophysiological, you know, like when your brain creates creates a
It's like if you go to the doctor and the doctor tells you you're gonna die and you believe that you're gonna die,
you probably will. Yeah.
But if you're a fighter and you say,
nah, fuck that. Yeah. I'm not having that.
People kind of live a bit longer than the doctors expect them to live, right? Because it's the spirit that's keeping them alive. We forget that we are our own healers. You know, like they don't want us to know that because Big Pharma, it's not in their interest for them to show us that we can heal ourselves. Yeah. By positive thinking, like you see people like the Dogon, I was watching one Dogon priest at one point. It was something he did on internet, and he just went to the beach, you know, and he said, "I'm going to show you how to do this thing and heal yourself," you know. And the man was just on the beach chanting on the beach, you know, "I am getting better. I am good. I am well," and just smiling. He's like that for like half an hour, just chanting himself. Well, and I said, "Yeah." It's them energy there for real. Yeah. But you know,
mind over matter, man.
Yeah, we live in Babylon. People find it hard to believe. All right, well, you could just do it that way. No, this guy in the white coat said if I don't do this, I'm gonna die. Yeah. And then my brethren come along and said, like, let's just chant this thing out, you know.
Yeah, man's not connected. That part of the brain switched off.
You know?
The belief in those things, the understanding, the acceptance of those things. So you've blocked it off. Like they're always showing you in the films. If you don't believe in the magic, it can't work. Just jump. All you gotta do is believe. You know the little cartoons and that. They're always showing you. You have to feel it. You have to be from in the internal. Yeah. Right, let's wrap this up. I know you gotta go, Unks.
Proposed expansion to the workforce eligible to administer vaccinations. Currently, only qualified health professionals can administer prescription drug injections. This law will mean people other than health professionals can administer the injections. This includes local authorities, and to add to that, these people will also be immune from any civil liability.
Just let that go, Oh my God. What?
Yeah. That means anybody can do that.
Anyone
anybody
local
in
authority.
Official capacity. Yeah.
Well, so who's that then?
Well, you know,
I'm just thinking police, social workers.
Anybody in that capacity. It's like they had another thing I was hearing about. They said that one person can put you in, can section you now.
Just takes one person
like,
to say
it would have taken three people
to agree.
Now they're saying
one person can say you're nuts.
Yeah.
Boom.
One.
That's scary. When did they do that?
This is one of the things I think they're proposing like this to come true. This is what they was talking about the other day, right?
These are the times, boy.
Yeah, people have to look back against this. What else we gonna do? We've got to. You know, otherwise, what we gonna tell our grandchildren and the ones coming after us? We just sat here. And what did you do while this was all going on? Yeah.
Just do nothing.
Watching Netflix. What were you actually doing when?
Now the
this was
next
happening?
thing is, like, obviously we're talking hypothetically, we're talking spiritually. That's the way I put it from my channel. Yeah. So we're talking spiritually. What can we do? What can the people them do? What petition? What's this? This asking for petition or something or?
Well, that's one part of it, isn't it? Like you have to attempt to do those things at least, because like in my experience, those things can work to a certain degree. They're never the whole part of it, but it may be a step along the road where you pause something for a minute and then you work out another way to actually make sure they can't move forward. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's never, a petition is never going to be the thing that
be all
ends
and
it,
end all, yeah.
but it could be a step
Means
in the
to an
right
end,
direction.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's those things now, I think that is like going to be, the vaccination thing is going to be the line in the sand. Yeah, where it's like, you know.
Getting billed like a good fight still. It's getting promoted like a good fight. Like, I don't know, Tyson versus You see it, you know.
But this is why they want to put all this stuff in place. So if it comes to that, they can do whatever they want to do. All of these laws are there that they're proposing now. You know, that's crazy.
And like, now they're talking about vaccine promotion, promoting unlicensed medicine to healthcare professionals and the public. This provision is applied to allow subject to the restrictions.
In the UK, there is a prohibition on promoting an unlicensed medicine to the public. The UK government is proposing that this is disabled to allow advertising the COVID-19 vaccine to the public. Make short-term provisions for the wholesale dealing of COVID-19 vaccines. This is for the entities that do not hold a wholesale license, such as the NHS and the armed forces. This law will allow the movement of the vaccine in the supply chain. If you read the full proposal, you will think it is written by the pharmaceutical companies, not the government. Everything I mentioned so far has been directly from the proposal. If you take no issue with any of these changes, then you can stop watching now. But if you realise what this could mean and how it fits within their larger plans, then it's time to act. They have kindly given the public the chance to comment on this proposal with a tight deadline of the 18th of September 2020, which gives under 21 days to submit comments. Let's put our voices together and submit a document signed by as many people.
Huh?
10th today.
It's the 10th today, so we got 8 days. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. Boy. So these have come to ask for some money now. What's this? What?
Is that donations or something? Oh, that's the petition against it.
As possible. We've added a page on our website where you can submit your comments. We will gather it all and submit, along with a petition to Parliament for maximum impact. Meanwhile, research the connections between pharmaceutical corporations and the politicians, and this document will make even more sense. Watch the episode Digital Dictators for more information on this topic. They distract you with scaremongering propaganda, dividing us by race and class, while they sneak these laws through, becoming the foundation of our enslavement. Britain seems to be spearheading this campaign, and whatever gets implemented here affects the rest of the world. So if you are not in the UK, keep an eye out for what laws are being passed. It's time we pay attention to their every move, study it collectively, and challenge these changes to the law under the pandemic umbrella. We are being robbed of our lives, our dignity, And if we do not act now, these laws continue to pass. When was the last time that you heard of a law passed during a crisis and was then cancelled after the crisis came to an end? Now you can't say that you did not know what is coming. Remember, we are not outnumbered. We are just unorganized.
This is made by the MOD, man.
You know,
This is made by the MOD.
this is the whole thing. Do you get what I'm saying?
This is-
Like, you know,
I can't say that. I don't know who.
we
Whatever.
don't know, but
Yeah.
we know that.
My energy tells me that.
You know.
But like they have to put this out there. So they will hire a group of people to put it out there. Not saying that none of this ain't real.
But you know, we have to use our vision. You know, like we haven't been studying all the years we've been studying to not be able to see what's going on now. It's just that we're living in a very strange world. Where
Are we giving away our energy by watching this and buying into this, or are we being studious and, you know?
I think you have to have awareness of what's going on. You know, we're in London. If we don't know this is going on in London, then you know, there's something we don't know about in our environment,
Right.
basically. Do you know what I mean? So we should know. We should be interacting in the place that we're in, so we can change it. This is another thing. So, like, at the same time as being aware of it, it doesn't mean you're being led by it, or we can watch this and we can't. Like you said at the end of it, you just said, all right, well, could actually be them sending this out. So long as you know that,
Yeah.
it's okay. Do you get what I'm saying? It's when we're just
Following in
stuff
blind and
oh yeah, did you see that video?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
because it resonates with how we feel, then we send it
Just
to
eat out
someone
and
else.
send it around, and
You know,
yeah.
it's like the first video they sent out, I think it was about the Ghana president talking about COVID. They just had a picture of him and a voice. Now, you think, if you want it to be that, you might just take it and go, look, did you see what happened?
Yeah.
But anytime we do that, we do ourselves a disservice. Because then people's checking where you're really coming from if you do that.
Yeah, you have to
And
be.
you have to, we got to be responsible about what
What you
pass
sending
on.
out? Yeah, 100%.
If I pass on something to the eye as an elder, I want you to be able to take it on seriously.
Yeah,
not
yeah.
I just send you foolishness,
Yeah.
or I just send you what. is
Whatever's
just-
just
do you
out
get
there.
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like, it should
For
be
real.
something that, you know, all right, well, Uncle sent this to me.
There
So
should be some quality
let me check
control
it
on
out.
this, yeah.
So, you know, and we need to do that with all of the things that we're passing around. Otherwise, people will just stop listening to what you're, not really checking what you're sending
What you're
to
saying,
them.
yeah.
Simply because it's easy to make that mistake
Right.
when we're sharing so much
Yeah.
information.
All the time. I'm that
know?
person. You send me something, and I hit you back like half an hour later. But right, you know, I did go and look that up, and you know, it's like a Photoshop
Yeah.
thing or Erica.
Yeah.
Enough people just they're sending stuff out.
I'm
I will
always-
check still.
I'm always questioning that stuff.
And more stuff that you see is of that nature, like it's
Yeah.
fake or it's from a year ago, but they're making it seem like it's today. Bare stupidness people doing.
Yeah, and you wonder why they're doing that, but then when you know there's like actual groups, battalion that set up
Yeah,
to
for
do this
disinformation.
work.
Yeah.
Then it's like, okay, well, we know when anything happens, there's going to be a lot of that going on in terms of people trying to confuse the situation on the social media platforms. So we have to double check, sometimes triple check everything.
So you're
before we share it
gonna
with
go
each
look this up, or you're gonna write anything?
I don't think it's gonna hurt me to sign a petition.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? I've signed loads of petitions over the years.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
You know, we're signing them before they were online, and
Yeah.
so
Papers
like
and that.
in terms of like, all right, well, you're drawing it. We've gone past that long time. Like if there's lists, we're on them already.
Already
right?
on them,
So
yeah.
I don't feel no way about doing what I got to do, sign a petition or whatever. If it could help the situation, at the end of the day, I would sign the petition. Do you see what I'm saying? Because do you agree with what was on there?
No.
That anybody should be able to come and inject us? Yeah, no, I don't agree
It's a
with
mad
that.
thing, you know.
Do you get what I'm saying?
And it's not just gonna be limited to the vaccine.
Yeah.
So people at home think about that. It could be anything.
Yeah.
A Lanzapin or whatever, anything like.
It's like a macro of the micro, right? The micro would be, all right, 5 years ago, the trust, Westway Trust had a plan, yeah, to build the Portobello Village development and change everything into Westfield, right? Do you get what I'm saying? One of the initial steps was to get a petition together that challenged them. But that alone couldn't stop the thing from happening, isn't it? The petition is the first step and then the next step is you might have to shut down a meeting, or the next step is
you escalate until you get your results.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. At least to you get the conversation, you get that right of conversation.
But if you do nothing at all,
silence is consent legally.
Yeah, exactly.
Over it, so. Silence is agreement, man.
That's agreement.
You know,
whatever we accept becomes the new normal.
Boom. Like that's all I wanted. Some final words there, yeah. Uncle Niles, thank you so much for coming on.
Pleasure, man.
Yeah, that was the Mirror Project, COVID Laws Petition, episode 9. I'll leave the link to the original video. You know what? I might put this out quick because you only got 8 days.
Yeah,
I'll give you that some time,
yeah.
yeah.
Tonight.
Yeah. This one's gonna come out same day, yeah. So, yeah, I'll send you the link so you can check it out and whatever. And yeah, man, that's it. We're good. We're out.
That's it.
Yeah, that was a good one.